But yeah, top 3 trading books. These are some of my favorite books too. But yeah, so I have all the 3 ones we're talking about right here. They're right back there on the bookshelf. The other one's in my backpack somewhere over there. But anyways, The Daily Trading Coach by Dr. Steenbarger. This one's a fire book. This one is going to go over a lot of psychology, breaking down a lot of very nuanced information. You're not getting swatted, are you? No, I thought for a second, I was like, yo, you got Big Deal Donuts out the window right there? Nah, no, I was trying to see if I had those books. But yeah, all 3 we're talking about today on the shelf over there. But The Daily Trading Coach, don't sleep. I'm telling you guys, if you're in here or you're gonna watch this video in the future, don't sleep on these books. This is like the information that actually develops and matures you as a trader. It's very nuanced information, but very helpful. So Dr. Steenbarger is a psychologist, right? And he has a PhD. He's a psychologist. He's a professor, and he works alongside traders that work on desks at trading firms. So he'll work alongside them, more novice traders, the intermediate traders, and the more advanced traders. He'll help them within their process and their psychology, and kind of just break down their psychology for him, because again, he's a psychologist that happens to now, I'm sure they have some type of, he probably has some type of contract with firms that he does where he comes in. He doesn't like work for the company, but he's like a third party vendor almost that works with the company. But anyways, The Daily Trading Coach, it's a self-coaching for improvement, and some of the main points are techniques for managing emotions, developing discipline, and setting personal goals for consistent growth. The thing I like about this one is it gives you actionable steps. It doesn't just say manage your emotions, develop discipline. Oh, you gotta have discipline, or you need personal goals for consistent growth. It gives you actionable steps to achieve each one of these details, which is very nice. Then 100 practical lessons. Each lesson provides actionable steps for handling challenges like self-doubt, trading anxiety, and overconfidence. So because of these things, and again, these are just the bullet points. It goes in way more depth than this, but it breaks down to the psychology behind these things. So it breaks down the psychology behind self-doubt. It breaks down the psychology behind trading anxiety, and it breaks down the psychology around overconfidence. So because of those things, it helps you become a little bit more self-aware, and it increases that area, which is extremely helpful for your trading. And then building a routine, he emphasizes the importance of journaling, reflection, learning from both wins and losses. As we get into these last couple bullet points, you can already see the whole premise of the book is really rooted in psychology. But again, this book specifically gives you a lot of actionable steps and really just lays it out, uses a lot of metaphors and stories for you to really understand the psyche at a deeper level. Mental preparation focuses on mental resilience and stress management, vital for thriving in volatile markets. Whenever prices are a lot more volatile, when the VIX is going up, things are going to naturally be a little bit more volatile. When the market's selling off, things are going to be volatile, whatever the case is. But, emotions are going to be all over the place. Stress management is a really good thing to learn. I think stress management is good. Number one, even outside of trading, like understanding that stress management within yourself also can be tied to your position sizing in your trade. So stress management, it'll kind of show you what your threshold is for that, how to manage it. Just a really nuanced detail in trading we never really talk about. And then the last one, continuous learning, encourages viewing every trade as an opportunity for improvement, even in losses. I know one of the things is sometimes we don't really like to look at our losses. It even goes into the psychology as to why sometimes we don't really like to journal, because when we have to look at losses or certain mistakes, it's really not comfortable to do that. But again, he breaks down the psyche and the psychology behind why that is. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I'm not going to lie. This is one of my personal favorites. Shout out Mark Douglas. Rest in peace, Mark Douglas. I think he was in the process of making another book, but I think he had passed away before he could get that out. But he released a lot of great information for us, a lot of great content that he had produced when he was around. But psychology, a consistency. His psychology was really hammering home consistency and how to really just structure your mind in a trader mentality. And it was really just thinking about everything in probabilities. So I do remember that. And it emphasizes mastering a mindset that allows traders to remain consistent, patient, and detached from emotions. So pretty much being detached from the outcome. And this is one of the, I think from him, that's when I learned like the best way to manage your emotions is to manage your expectations. But handling uncertainty, it teaches the importance of accepting market uncertainty and focusing on risk management rather than prediction. The belief system encourages examining one's beliefs about money, risk, and the market to uncover biases that affect trading performance. These are such nuanced details that is not talked about, like, at all. But we're let's just get through the last couple points. Discipline and confidence builds confidence by teaching traders to trust their systems and follow through with plans without hesitation. Focus on probabilities, emphasizes thinking in probabilities and not becoming overly attached to any single trade outcome. Because if you're in a trade and you're treating it like it's a do or die type of situation, you messed up somewhere. Like, no trade should really be more important than the previous one or more important than the next.
Yeah.
And if you're putting too much weight on one singular trade, maybe you're sized in too much, or maybe you're just getting sucked in to the market currently. But each trade should never really make or break you. Each trade should never really have a massive effect on your psyche, and it just shouldn't be more important than the next. But no, this one is definitely more about managing your expectations. And then this is where he would really harp on, for example, with probabilities, building a probabilistic mindset. You can trade probabilities, but you won't know the series in which the trades will come in. So I know we've talked about that a lot before, but that's really where it came from, Mark Douglas. You can have your probabilities all you want, but you could get 3-4 consecutive red trades in a row, and the next 7 could be green, or you could get red, red, green, green, red, red, whatever the case is. But you don't know the series in which the green and red will fall, but we do have the probabilities to lean back on. And I know we heavily focus on probabilities whenever we're selling premium. So this is something to keep in mind. But, last but not least, The Unlucky Investor's Guide to Option Trading by Julius Spina. I will say, no bias. Whenever you're selling premium or getting into the options market, this is probably the best book to pick up whenever you're looking at getting into the options market, selling premium, wanting to understand the Greeks, wanting to understand distribution curves, the probabilities behind these things, and just the logic behind selling premium. This is definitely the book for you. Unlucky Investor's Guide to Options Trading by Julius Spina. There's a lot of trading books out there, and this one is specific to selling premium in the market. There's even a lot of options books, but it's not necessarily specific to selling options. So this one really focuses on intro to options. So beginner, intermediate, more advanced. This book's really helpful. I know when I first got into selling options, I was a beginner and it was helpful at that time. I remember I've had it for a while, even a little bit more experienced into more intermediate. I learned a lot more as well. So it's like, depending on your journey, it's another good thing to reread as you get a little bit more experienced, because you might understand some of the information in there on a deeper level, the more experience that you do have. So it's one of those things that's conducive for beginner, intermediate, and advanced traders. It's really a one book for all. And then, risk management strategies. It breaks down the strategies for protecting capital and mitigating risk in options trade. We really focus on mitigating risk. And a lot of the ways we focus on mitigating risk is by focusing on selling premium, which inherently will have a slightly higher probabilities, not even slightly. I mean, it clearly has higher probabilities than buying options, because you don't have to worry about the theta decay of your options. Yeah. And then it provides a realistic approach. It dispels myths about options trading and focusing on a practical, risk-aware mindset. There was a stigma around options even a few years ago. Options was almost synonymous with risky. But a lot of the times when you understand how to use options properly, a lot of times options help us mitigate risk. Options actually can be a little less risky when you understand how to use them properly. So that's something I learned coming into Tasty, learning the ropes from Tom, learning from people that's more experienced than me, like Julia, Nick, Mike, Katie, all those guys on the Tasty Live show. Because again, initially I thought, options are risky, but little did I know we use options to mitigate risk. Well, that's obviously a great one, but have you reviewed the new upcoming book, Wherever There's a Gimme, There's a Gotcha by Dr. Jim? No way, Dr. No way. I can see it though, and I can see that happening. I just don't know if you're yanking my chain right now, Theta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too on the nose.
Yo, I'm gonna bring that up to Dr. Jim. Helping traders make more informed decisions. And again, this is taking the perspective from selling premium in the market, but really all trading, is combining risk, reward, and probabilities in some way. Selling premium, it's just doing it in a little bit of a different way. You're going to see those risk, rewards, and probabilities shifted, if you were to be using a directional strategy or buying options. And then tactical advice. It includes tactical strategies for managing trades, knowing when to exit, and understanding the impact of volatility. Knowing when to exit is one of the most difficult things about trading. Whether you're in a green position, whether you're in a red position, understanding how to manage the trade and how to exit the trade, which is under the umbrella of managing your trade, can be the most difficult part of trading. So it really goes into the details on like very specific situations you might be in and what information you want to look at. So it really goes over the whole 9 yards. So whether beginner, intermediate, advanced, The book is really helpful. Mine's signed, by the way, so slight flex.
You're signed.
Mine is signed.
I
Slight
mean,
flex.
where's my signed book at, Julian? What's going on? Where's my signatured book to put in my glass case?
Yeah, it's good. I know one of the lines in there. I'm telling premium is more like becoming the casino. And there's a passage in the book that kind of, breaks that part down. And
Yeah.
I think, reading things like that, when you frame it that way, it just kind of helps you get the gist of
Yeah.
options and why someone may want to sell options. Really why Tom sells options. Like when you read those kind of things, you're like, okay, makes sense why you do this over this.
Yeah.
So these are the 3 books, no order, but some of the 3 that's been really helpful. A lot of people probably have read these books, but even if you read them before, this is a sign to crack those books back open because we can reinforce a lot of ideas, a lot of lessons that we already knew, but it's always good to reinforce. So
Yeah.
that is the 3 books for today.